Hello? My name is Paul Sheldon. I'm a novelist. My number one superfan, Annie Wilkes, has me trapped in her house. I need you to come to the Yellow Tree Theater in Osseo, September 26th to October 4th to get me out. YellowTreeTheater.com. It's misery. Please don't come alone. Hurry. She's coming.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson.
Sorry.
Cloudy skies today with a high near 82. Tonight, cloudy with a low around 66. And Wednesday, sunny with a high around 84. Cafe Latte's Bakery is a local favorite for fresh baked treats, cupcakes, and breads, all made without artificial ingredients. Because a Cafe Latte, ingredients matter. Find them off Victoria and Grand in St. Paul. And for takeout or reservations, visit cafelatte.com.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the studios of AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and airing on WCPTA 20, Chicago's Progressive Talk. Welcome to the Gailey Show, the only daily LGBTQ radio news and talk show in the United States. I'm your host, John Parker. In studio with me is my executive producer, Jim Pounds. A lot to get to on the show today, so let's dive in. In the second half hour, Tammye Nash, managing editor of the Dallas Voice, will be here to talk about some new reporting from that publication. Before that, an anti-LGBTQ MAGA candidate for Wisconsin governor just dropped out of the race. We're going to look into why. And the government is probably going to shut down tonight. We're tracking the story. We'll look into the updates of what's going to be impacted if it most likely shuts down. But up first, a federal judge has tossed key parts of a lawsuit against trans athletes, but is allowing one part of it to move forward. Joining us to discuss is Brianne Brinker. Brianne is assistant athletic director at Union College. She just published her debut memoir, Skating Out of the Vault: A Trans Woman's Escape from the Game of Masculinity. We had an excellent conversation about that a few weeks ago. Brianne, so good to see you again. Welcome back to the Gailey Show.
Thank you for having me. We really appreciate it.
Okay, so last year, Riley Gaines and her co-plaintiff sued the NCAA as well as Georgia Tech and the University System of Georgia, saying that trans athletes, it isn't fair to have them participating in sports. Now, for folks who don't know Riley, she's the sore loser who placed 5th in a swimming competition, tied with Leah Thomas, a trans woman. And ever since, she's been on a crusade to push trans women out of sports. And her crusade was picked up by MAGA, of course, and Donald Trump. And earlier this year, the University of Pennsylvania actually agreed to ban trans women athletes. They wrote personal letters of apology to athletes who had competed previously with trans athletes, and they erased Leah's athletic records from their system, despite the fact that the University of Pennsylvania and Leah were following all the rules as they existed at that time. And they said they were being extorted, the university, by the Trump administration, but they have an endowment of $22.3 billion. So being extorted for a few hundred million when you have billions. But Brianne, what is your thought on this particular case?
I honestly can't believe that it got to where it did, to be honest with you. Here you have an athlete that not only followed the rule by suppressing their testosterone by 1 year, which was what the NCAA called for, did it for 2 years. It was 2 years by that point. And also just, didn't people expected her to win every single race and to win all the medals. Ended up in 5th place, and it was a 5th place tie. So if Leah wasn't even in that race, Riley would have still been in 5th place. She lost nothing, and with having Leah there. And I think what really got into what upset her the most was that there was one 5th place plaque and one 6th place plaque, and the tournament organizer gave the 5th place plaque to Leah, and who knows what just precipitated that decision. It was obviously, nobody expects people to tie for 5th or anything. There's no real plan for that, but it happened. And so she was upset that she didn't get on the 5th place podium, but she got on the 6th place podium. And all of the athletes, from what I understand, are on a block of the podium. So she didn't finish last. She didn't finish first. And I know these girls. I know these athletes. They train so hard to try to get, every little second that they can, half second, whatever it is that they can possibly do. So I understand people want to really try to get as high as they can. However, to bring a lawsuit against the NCAA when the rule strictly says, plainly says what she's doing is okay, and then the University of Georgia and everything else, that's an NCAA event. They hosted it. To go that far is crazy, in my opinion. And she ended up launching her own career off of that. Mm-hmm. And to try to go after every single one of us. And that is a very, very disturbing situation. You could have just guessed. Everybody, there was so much buzz around the race at that time and what was going to happen with Leah and the stuff Leah put up with was crazy. Leah put up with so many things. So just barbs shot at her all the time. And she handled it with just grace and dignity, but then it just went haywire, and now Riley's got her own home job, making more money than she would have made doing whatever she majored in, and it's taken off so many different things. Now the pen thing is a whole nother story that is not involved in this lawsuit, but wow.
Can you help us understand the NCAA and their role to college athletics? Because the part of the case that the judge is allowing the federal circuit judge, the federal district judge Tiffany R. Johnson is allowing to move forward is a claim that the NCAA is maybe a government institution because they have research with the Department of Defense. But largely, can you talk to us as an assistant athletic director who competed in NCAA sports and college athletics? What is the relationship between the NCAA and universities?
Well, I think that the NCAA, you're either, every institution is either, that has athletics or with the NCAA, or they're with another organization called the NAIA. And any of the others I'm not really too familiar with, but the NAIA is a separate entity than the NCAA. And they've got their own set of rules and different things like that. Now that whole, the NAIA has banned trans people altogether. So that's not a thing. But as far as the NCAA goes, I'm still trying to put together the difference, because the NCAA it's national, but it's not a governmental agency. And they're talking about the research. Well, the federal government gives research grants to colleges, to universities. And we all know that. We've heard all these different things 6 months ago about we're going to take away research money and different things if you don't comply with all these rules. Well, it was they're trying to link one to the other. I don't know how that happens. The athletes are obviously members and represent the university itself, but I don't know how the federal government comes into play, to be quite honest with you. I'm still trying to figure that one out. I wish I had a better answer for you.
Well, I think that's what we're all trying to figure out here, is that how does an entity, because they're partnering on research with the federal government, how does that make them the federal government? I mean,
that would mean every research company they worked with is
right. Like
federal government.
Is Boeing and Rand McNally now, are they, state actors?
Right. That would be the law.
Right. And that's what I don't understand. I'm still trying to wrap my arms around that one. I don't know where that is going. I don't know if I don't know what the judge was thinking on that one, to be honest. I don't know. There must be something that I'm not aware of that connects the university to the NCAA and connects the NCAA to the federal government. because I just don't see. I never knew that actually existed.
Can we? There's still we feel these calls, and I get direct messages on Blue Sky about this all the time about how it's unfair. It's unfair. The science, and I'm like, are you even looking at the science? And you had mentioned earlier about how Leah Thomas had been on.
Testosterone.
No, I'm
suppressing the
testosterone for 2 years, which was considered. You said the standard was 1 year. She had done it for 2 years. Can you talk about this idea that we still have in the ether about how there's this biological advantage when in actuality a lot of the medical transition actually takes away that? Does that make sense, my question that I'm asking?
Yes, it does. And I can go by what my experience is on it, and I can go with other of my friends that are trans athletes and even a lot younger than I am, their experience with it. And the issue is it does take away your body mass. I mean, I could tell, muscle mass. And I could tell after about a month, I felt more tingling in certain muscles, the bigger muscles, the thighs and the biceps, basically. And I could tell I wasn't able to carry the same boxes and cartons that I was able to carry before. It took a lot more, it took a lot more force. And that was within a month or two. And I totally, I do understand if men goes up against a woman, then with no suppression, I could see where they could have a problem with that. But 2 years of it, that means there's hardly any. And as far as I know, and I'm not positive on this one, John, and I thought I read someplace before that they had to prove, they had to show the numbers of the milliliters or the cc's of how much testosterone that you do have. Our numbers are, first of all, my numbers are probably a 3 or something, and I think the highest that you can do to compete is like a 10 or something of that nature, 8, 9, 10, something like that. So mine are very, very low for testosterone, and I've got a very high estrogen count. And this is me, and this is after 6 years, but these are my numbers probably after 4 years. So again, just going by mine, there's a lot of estrogen that goes in there as well, and that my body's starting to turn into more of like a woman.
Thank you for sharing your insights into this and helping us unpack this. Unfortunately, I have to leave it there. Brianne Brinker is the assistant associate director at athletic director at Union College, and the author of an amazing book, Skating Out of the Vault: A Trans Woman's Escape from the Game of Masculinity. You can find it at all local bookstores. Brianne, this story broke yesterday. Thank you for joining us today to help us to begin to unpack it.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
If the statistics say that 1 in 3 Native women and 1 in 6 Native men have experienced sexual assault in their lifetime, it means our whole community is affected by sexual violence. 1 is too many. Don't stand by, stand up. Don't engage in acts of sexual violence, and shut down the dirty jokes, the gossip, the victim blaming and shaming. As a community, we can change the way we respond. Contact the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition to attend a workshop to learn more.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
History Theater's new season opens with a celebration of one of Minnesota's own. Don't miss Doris Hines. Now through October 12th in St. Paul, experience a vibrant tribute blending live jazz, powerful storytelling, and the life of Doris Hines, mother, performer, and icon. With dynamic music and a stellar cast, this world premiere spans local stages and global reach. Discounts are available for students, seniors, and veterans. Don't miss this unforgettable premiere. Find details now at historytheater.com.
Hi, I'm Peter Solak.
And I'm Adam Ostrowski.
We are here at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces to talk about the joy of live fire cooking. Cooking over a live fire is the oldest and most basic form of cooking.
What's new is in the way fire is handled and its heat is managed.
It's easier to experience and enjoy the smell and taste of food cooked over a live fire.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces sells and installs live fire grills, fire pits, and ovens. Let us help you experience the smell, the taste, the fun of cooking with fire.
Pizza was first made and is still best made in an open fire oven. The radiant and conductive heat of a live fire is unmatched for wood roasting and baking artisan breads too.
Come see the many ways you can cook over a live fire.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces has over 35 working wood and gas units on display at the corner of East Franklin and Riverside Avenue in Minneapolis. More information at woodlandstoves.com. Find the fire that works for you. Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, out of the ordinary products and services since 1977.
Hey Francois, what's with all the wrapping paper?
Salut Laura, je fais des cadeaux.
You're making gifts. These must be for your clients. And then your favorite macaroons for Nicolette's.
Bien sûr.
Oh, they put your business logo on them? Luxurious.
Oui, et ils expédient partout dans le pays.
They ship anywhere in the U.S. and look how many you bought. You must have lots of clients.
Mais non, ils sont tous pour moi.
Oh, Francois, these are just for you? Well, visit nicoletsmacaroons.com today to create thoughtful gifts for your business, your friends, or yourself.
This October, let your imagination and heart return to the movie theaters for the 6th annual Flip the Script Queer Film Festival. 9 days of groundbreaking animated, documentary, short, and feature-length films that push the boundaries of love, family, and relationships. This fall, let's watch the unexpected. October 3rd through the 11th at Film North in St. Paul. Digital passes available. Tickets on sale September 5th at flipthescriptfest.org.
Welcome back to the Gailey Show. I am John Parker. We are coming up on the bottom of the hour. I'm joined in studio by my executive producer, Jim Pounds. All right, there's across the river here in Minnesota, in Wisconsin, a GOP candidate dropped out of the race for governor. Bill Berrien is from Whitefish Bay. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel did an investigative piece into Bill Berrien and found out that he had been following on the website Medium, which is where people write essays and whatnot. He had been following a non-binary queer adult performer, as well as other sex and polyamorous positive accounts. And apparently there's I'm not on Medium, so I don't know. There's like instead of a thumbs up on an article, there's a clapped for function on the platform. And apparently he clapped for articles, essays titled, "My husband loves watching me flirt with another man and ethical porn starts when we pay for it." And so he's dropped out of the race, and in a statement, pretty lengthy one, he wrote, quote, "It was a major attack piece, and we confirmed opposition research started in January of this year, if not earlier. And for what? For reading. Nothing illegal, nothing unethical, and nothing immoral, just reading. Wouldn't you want your political and business leaders and all of society, frankly, to be widely read and thoughtful and aware of different perspectives and ideas? Yet when a supposedly major metropolitan newspaper condemns someone for reading, we have ourselves a problem," end quote. No one's saying that, dude. You're the one that is an anti-LGBTQ politician who have been peddling and propagating all of these lies about the LGBTQ community. We don't want you to get out of the race. And not because I'm being like, yes, stay in, you don't have a chance of winning now. But like, we want you to be reading those folks. We want you to be supporting those writers. Shouldn't you be doing the same thing, which is learning and expanding as a human being, and then saying, you know what, this isn't disqualifying for me to be in the race. But apparently you think it's disqualifying because your party, the MAGA party, has gone all in on hating the LGBTQ people.
I mean, I think the vast majority of people who are anti-gay or anti-trans have an issue in their own personal life or in their own personal brains or in their family or their neighborhood, and that they're just acting out their hatred because they're scared of something, they're afraid of something, they're mad about something, like Elon Musk. This isn't a truly held belief. This is a bit of somebody that should go to a counselor and sit down and talk for several years probably and figure out what's the matter, instead of spewing hatred and then going, oh, I guess I was part of that too. And I'm sure it's the people on the right, like you said, that forced him to resign, not anybody else. Nobody else was saying, this is terrible. No, he's actually better read than most Republicans, I suspect. So so good on you, Bill. Is it Bill? Or Mr. Berrien? I'll say that.
Yeah, Bill Berrien.
Yeah. You just are in the wrong party. That's the problem.
You know, if they're calling out his hypocrisy,
yes, that's a problem.
That is a valid, you know, as a journalist, having worked in journalism, that is a valid thing when you find out that a politician is doing one thing and then voting for, another thing.
Like Lindsey Graham, for example.
Right. I mean, the most infamous example is, former Vice President Dick Cheney having a lesbian daughter and infamously boycotting and voting against gay marriage.
Right.
That hypocrisy.
See above.
But like one of the performers, and I don't think I can say their name on air because it's a it's a provocative name they go by as a performer. But they posted on Blue Sky, it's okay to follow trans porn stars. It's okay to read articles about sex and relationship. What's not okay is the hypocrisy of backing forceful legislation that restricts what people, trans and otherwise, can do with their own bodies. That is shameful. End quote. And I don't think that he should have had to have dropped out. He could have said, this is what I've learned.
Right.
This is why I'm moderating my positions, or I'm renouncing my previous positions, because apparently I am feeling that way in real life. But you can't. Can you even do that in today's MAGA party? I mean, there's the right-wing radio personality host in Virginia running for lieutenant governor. He's gay. And they've been trying to push him out of the race, but he said, no, I'm not going to get out of the race. I am gay and I'm MAGA, and somehow he makes that work, which makes no sense to me.
Note above about counselor.
He is clearly maybe not the only one, because then you have a bunch of gay men, MAGA gay men, serving in the Trump administration.
Oh, yeah.
And they're making it work. Now, I'm not saying that Bill Berrien here, former GOP candidate for governor in Wisconsin, is part of the community. I'm not saying that at all.
No.
I'm just saying is that you can't moderate on these issues at all. You can't have any type of pro LGBTQ stance at all. You're just driven right out of the party.
Yeah. When your focus is hate, there's not a lot of moving around that. It's a pretty single point.
But then to somehow try to twist it that we're the ones that are being
we're terrible judgmental people.
Like, no one's saying you have to get out of the race because you read and support queer and trans writers.
You go girl.
It's just the pretzels that they twist themselves into.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know cognitively how they don't just snap. You know what I mean?
Some of them do.
The stress of that must be just so difficult to manage on a day-to-day basis that,
it's sad.
Yeah.
Well, if he wants to have coffee sometime, I'll try.
No, we're not.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to be nice.
No, we're not
Poor
doing
guy.
that. Anyway, that career cut short. That campaign cut short. Ahead of its time.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Something I don't want to make light of, because this is not a light story. We are probably looking at a partial shutdown of the government tonight. And so I know other outlets are, looking into the, when are they going to vote and da-da-da-da-da. I wanted to take a look at, what happens if, so Homeland Security, I was looking this up on AP News. Homeland Security and Immigration Enforcement, of course, would proceed mostly as is. So they'll mainly keep going. Medicare and Medicaid payments would continue. So those won't stop. There may be delays, but according to AP News, there is enough money to fund Medicaid for the first quarter of the next fiscal year. So that will continue as is. There could be some FEMA fallout, which could block some new mortgages, but their core disaster relief functions would continue. There is plans to address an air traffic controller shortage, but stay tuned on to how they would take a look at that. The CDC is planning, though, if the government shuts down tonight, widespread furloughs. So obviously the food that we eat and all of the things that they monitor,
Right.
that could go.
You're on your own.
And a lot of it is going away. And National Institute research would stall, and there's a lot of patients who are involved in that research, so they would be immediately affected because they would have to stop immediately, and so all of that medication that they're receiving or care they're providing would just be gone. And we may look into more of that when we come back here. I have to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to have Tammye Nash, managing editor of the Dallas Voice. So stay tuned. You're listening to The Gailey Show.
Turn to Auto Technical with your vehicle donation. Even though Auto Technical is a small nonprofit, we have helped more families with transportation than any organization in Minnesota. Since '94, we have reconditioned donated vehicles so they have a higher tax benefit. Call Richard at 612-919-5526, 612-919-5526, or autotech.org.
This is
Tammye, hello.
Hey, how y'all doing? Been a couple of weeks, hasn't it?
It's been a couple weeks. So where would you what reporting articles would you like to talk about or topic?
There's the one thing I think is important is kind of a follow-up to the whole Charlie Kirk thing is the guy they arrested in Abilene for threatening to shoot up the parade.
Okay.
I mean, and I've been surprised at how little attention there's been paid to that. Really, I mean, I just found out about it like yesterday.
Oh, wow.
And I knew there was a parade in Abilene and everything, but then yesterday I saw a report saying, oh yeah, this guy was arrested on the 19th for threatening to shoot up the parade. So I think that's one of the things, and it kind of ties in, obviously hate speech, and he said he was going to shoot up the parade to pay us back, to pay him back for Charlie Kirk, taking out Charlie Kirk. So, I mean, obviously that's a result of hate speech, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then somebody else, there was that shooting at Grand Blanc, the Mormon church.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to pronounce that. I think I'm giving it a Cajun pronunciation, Grand Blanc. But this guy went in. He had gone on some rant against Mormons, and he went in and he shot up this church. And somebody I saw on Facebook said, was this because the kid that shot Charlie Kirk was a Mormon?
Oh, we've got to switch over. We're gonna switch over. We're gonna start in 30 seconds.
Okay.
With its spectacular fall colors, dozens of hiking trails, local breweries, good food, eclectic shopping, and its historic downtown, and even a film festival, it's just what I need for a long weekend getaway. Join me and head up to the Fresh Coast. Visit travelmarquette.com to start your journey.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for cloudy skies today with a high near 82, tonight cloudy with a low around 66, and Wednesday sunny with a high around 84. The enormous crocodile is hungry and on the prowl. Only his jungle friends can stop his secret tricks in this larger-than-life adventure filled with puppets, surprises, and even a dance party in space. Don't miss the U.S. premiere of The Enormous Crocodile at Children's Theater October 1st through November 23rd. Tickets at childrenstheater.org.
Coming to you from the studios of AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and airing on WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk. Welcome back to The Gailey Show. I'm your host, John Parker. It is 33 minutes after the hour. My executive producer, Jim Pounds, has some gifts to give away.
Well, I just want to do a quick ticket giveaway if we can. We'll take the third caller on this. We have 2 tickets to give away to Don't Miss Doris Hines at the History Theater, specifically this Friday, October 3rd. So if you call 952-946-6205, you might win 2 tickets to Don't Miss Doris Hines. She was the mother of the very famous Gregory Hines. So,
And is there a specific date for that one?
October 3rd.
This Friday.
This Friday, yeah. So it's like right away.
And third caller, 952-946-6205. 952-946-6205. You get to have a pair of tickets to Don't Forget Miss. What is it?
Well, now you're making me forget. Don't Miss Doris Hines.
Don't Miss Doris Hines. All right, there we go. The Dallas Voice just started its 42nd year as the voice of the LGBTQ community in North Texas and beyond. You can visit their website at dallasvoice.com and their social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky for their award-winning journalism. Tammye Nash has worked as a professional journalist, spending more than 30 of those years as a writer and editor for Dallas Voice. In her spare time, she takes photos mainly of birds and flowers and the dog. She joins us now. Hey, Tammye, it's been a minute since we saw you last.
It's been a minute, yeah. Y'all got to excuse me. I have a little bit of a list going on. I'm in the middle of some dental work, and they're running behind on me. So I'm talking funny.
You're not there right now, right?
No.
All right. Well, there's a story that we wanted to touch on with you, and we were talking about it during the commercial break. So in Abilene, there was a potential shooter at a pride parade. Can you give us the details on that?
Like I said, I was surprised to hear about this yesterday, or that it took so long for this to start getting out. Guy's name was Joshua Cole, and they had planned a pride parade in Abilene, which is not known for being a center of LGBTQ pride events, more like the whatever school, Abilene, anyway, that school out there.
The opposite of that, yeah.
But they were having a parade on Saturday the 20th. Is that right? And then on the 18th, which I think was Thursday, this guy was posting. His name is Joshua Cole. He's 42. And somebody posted something about being upset because the parade organizers had a no guns policy at the event. So, well, that's not fair. This is Texas. We carry our guns everywhere, just about. But they were griping about this. How, probably somebody wouldn't go to this parade in the first place, but griping about the parade. And somebody else says, posted wishing those they-thems a good parade. So this guy, Joshua Cole, chimes in with their parade, excuse the language. I say we lock and load and pay them back for taking out Charlie Kirk. There's only like 30 of them. We can send a clear message to the rest of them. Come on, bro, let's go hunting fairies. So, and this was like a series of 2 or 3 posts in this thread that he comments in this thread that he posted. And somebody reported it to the police. The police reported it to the FBI, and surprise, surprise, the FBI actually did something.
Wow.
And the next day, on September 19th, they arrested him. They, I think they went to his job to look for him at his job, and the guy's like, oh, he quit. He just threw a fit and quit. Don't know why, but he had quit his job. But they found him in a traffic stop, and they arrested him.
Wow.
And the agent said, I told him I need to talk to you. And he's like, what do you want to talk to me about? And he said, well, something about Facebook or social media. And the guy's like, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. So now this is the same, this is 2025. I don't know what the actual charges are. I didn't see that anyway, but it could be up to 5 years if he's convicted. The same guy that was arrested in 2019 for making terroristic threats.
He has a history.
And then I think it was 2012. It's on our website in the blog I posted. Showing or distributing or sharing inappropriate material with a minor, something like that. Showing things that kids shouldn't see to kids.
So doing the exact thing that they claim that we're doing.
Harmful. No, let me say that harmful material to them. selling, distributing, displaying harmful material to a minor. And there was 2 of those charges. So yeah, he's got a history, but he's like, oh, I was just kidding. When they arrested him, I didn't mean it. I was just kidding. I wasn't going to actually do it. And they're like, this was a specific threat.
Yeah.
Against specific people at a specific event on a specific date. So this is a viable, charge against you because it's very specific. So.
Well, as you say, Tammye, this is the kind of thing people need to hear about, because a lot of people would shoot their mouth off on social media, not realizing the consequences. But when you do something like that, you've committed a crime,
Yeah, I mean, it is a crime to threaten someone with harm.
Right.
But besides the fact that I want them to know they shouldn't be running out, actually, I would really prefer if they have those kind of thoughts that they are stupid enough to put it on social media.
Yeah.
Because then we know, right? Then we know what to look out for. Then we can say, hey, FBI, look at this. Right. At least local police, look at this.
Right.
That's but it's the ones that stay quiet that you have to worry about, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe we don't want anybody to know about this. Maybe we just want to keep that quiet. But for me,
there's a lot of when I was a chief diversity officer in higher education, there were a lot of my colleagues that were like, it's so much easier to deal with the folks who just come right out and say it. You know what I mean? They say the F word, F-A-G, you know what I mean? They say the, da-da-da, because then we were starting from a place of truth. And it's the other folks that are quiet about it. They don't say anything. And then those are the ones that try to undermine all of the work, and they're constantly stalling it. So there is very clearly something to the fact of just be upfront with it, and then we can, move from there. Now the folks that are, twisting themselves into logic puzzles to make up all sorts of BS about us, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
Well, that's just, I agree with what Jim said. Here, I'm just pointing at you, Jim. You can't see that, but I am. What you said about, people that go to such lengths to find justification for this crap obviously have some sort of issue that they're dealing with, whether it's within themselves or it's someone in their family, something that they've not come to terms with. I mean, think about it. Somebody said, homophobe's not really the right word because, they're not afraid. They're just assholes. Right. I'm sorry. I'm going to get y'all in trouble with your censors again. But
yes, you are.
They are afraid. They are afraid. Because when you don't understand something, when it's different, when it's outside your experience, it scares you to some. And when it scares you, it makes you mad that it scares you. And when you get mad, that's when you do stupid stuff. So, so I think that's right. But
like you say, the FBI actually did something. That's nice to hear. That's encouraging.
I also, for me, this is an important issue because, when you're a little kid, how often did you hear sticks and stones? Well, he called me a name. Sticks and stones will break your bones, all that crap. But words do hurt. You guys are journalists. I'm a journalist. We believe in the power of words. We can't get away with saying words don't hurt. Words hurt. Words topple governments. Words kill people. And maybe that's not, you don't shoot a word at somebody, but it's the word that propels that bullet.
I don't recall where it went. Wasn't there legislation earlier this year in Texas that basically gave the okay? Like there was legislation that was going to say, no, parents can't denigrate their queer kids.
No, that they could. They were going to.
Go ahead.
That didn't go anywhere. I'm sorry, okay. Y'all are kind of cutting out on me, so I apologize if I talk over you. It was going to clarify that being mean to your LGBTQ child was not child abuse. So, but it could be.
Yeah.
It really could be.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is.
So
there was a story that happened over the last week to your neighbor to the north, in Oklahoma, the director of education, the superintendent of education, stepped down Superintendent of Education. What can you tell us about that? Because that guy was a piece of work.
That I can tell you that his name is Ryan. Let me find it. I have a blog here. Let me find it real quick.
While Tammye is looking that up, we are talking with Tammye Nash, managing editor of Dallas Voice.
Okay, Ryan Walters. Ryan Walters, he resigned. He's going to leave that post. He was appointed by the governor, who is also right wing, and Kevin Stitt is his governor's name, and he's going to step down to what is it? Teachers Freedom thing. Teachers Freedom Alliance. Okay, Teachers Freedom Alliance that's not a really good name. Assist educators in their mission to develop free, moral, and upright American citizens. Yeah. Boldest, they could say he's one of the boldest conservative reformers. Anyway, he was already on their board. Now he's stepping down. He's going to be the head of that organization. But from what I understand, there was a state rep who's already complaining that he was using state funds or state something to promote this alliance already. So he was kind of on the edge of being in trouble as it was. So he's
Was
just
he the one that was looking at pornography during an official board meeting?
Well, somebody saw there was like a TV playing in his office in a Zoom meeting like this, and somebody saw naked people on that screen. So there was a big investigation into that, and it turns out that he was probably just watching a movie. What was it called? There was a movie on.
Oh.
Because they turned the TV back on, and it was on this station that plays movies, and the movie was some action. The Protector, Jackie Chan's 1985 film, The Protector. And, movies like that, naked people run around sometimes. So it wasn't that he was watching porn. Not saying he wasn't, but they're saying that, it was just a movie.
Couldn't prove it. Yeah.
That could be what he enjoys,
Oh my God, Jackie Chan.
Naked people in a Jackie Chan movie. That could do it for him. Who knows? So
there's a website.
I mean,
for that.
one man's action movie is another man's porn.
That's right. That's exactly right. Wow.
Sorry, John.
Now you've put him off his game.
But this is the guy that. Okay, I'm serious. This is the guy that put in a lot of policies in place that basically don't protect LGBTQ students from bullying in the classroom. I'm sorry, I keep looking at John, and I keep
don't look at John's face. It's always bad. Yeah.
No, he was a monster for LGBTQ kids.
Yeah.
I mean, very clearly going after them.
Yeah.
And his response last year when Nex Benedict died, and I they're claiming it was suicide or accidental. The kid got beat up in a bathroom and died the next day. But yeah, we're going to blame it on the antihistamine.
I've got to fit in a break here. We're going to continue on that story when we come back with managing editor of Dallas Voice, Tammye Nash. You are listening to The Gailey Show on AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. More to come. Stay tuned.
Hello? My name is Paul Sheldon. I'm a novelist. My #1 superfan, Annie Wilkes, has me trapped in her house. I need you to come to the Yellow Tree Theater in Osseo, September 26th to October 4th to get me out. YellowTreeTheater.com. It's misery. Please don't come alone. Hurry. She's coming.
So an atheist, a Christian, and a Buddhist walk into a church. There's no punchline. That's just what happens every Sunday at First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis. It's all the thoughtful reflection, community, and warmth of a Sunday service without religious doctrine. Curious? Find out what we're all about. Join us for Sundays Reimagined at First Unitarian Society or live stream at firstunitarian.org. Think outside the pew.
Hi, I'm Peter Solak.
And I'm Adam Ostrowski.
We are here at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces to talk about outdoor fires. Sitting around a fire is the oldest, most basic form of human activity.
What's new is in the way fire is burned. We can show you how to burn cleaner with a lot less smoke.
The radiant heat and light from an open fire is unmatched. It kindles our spirits and connects us to the outdoors. And now it's easier to experience and enjoy.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces sells and installs wood and gas burning fire pits and fireplaces. Let us help you experience an outdoor fire without all the smoke.
Come see the many ways you can enjoy a fire outdoors.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces has over 35 working wood and gas units on display at the corner of East Franklin and Riverside Avenue in Minneapolis. More information at woodlandstoves.com. Find the fire that works for you. Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, out of the ordinary products and services since 1977.
He's greedy. He's scrumptious. He's horrid. Roald Dahl's The Enormous Crocodile the Musical is weaving its way onto the stage at Children's Theatre Company beginning October 1st, featuring eye-popping puppets, a rich score with great groove, and plenty of mischievous audience interaction. Don't miss the U.S. premiere of the smash UK hit. Get your tickets for The Enormous Crocodile the Musical today at childrenstheatre.org.
This October, let your imagination and heart return to the movie theaters for the 6th annual Flip the Script Queer Film Festival. 9 days of groundbreaking animated, documentary, short, and feature-length films that push the boundaries of love, family, and relationships. This fall, let's watch the unexpected. October 3rd through the 11th at Film North in St. Paul. Digital passes available. Tickets on sale September 5th at flipthescriptfest.org.
Welcome back to the Gailey Show. I'm John Parker. We're already coming up on the top of the hour. I'm joined in studio with my executive producer, Jim Pounds. We're talking with Tammye Nash, managing editor for the Dallas Voice in its 42nd year. The Dallas Voice is the voice of the LGBTQ community in North Texas and beyond. Tammye, we were talking about Nex, who was a student at an Oklahoma school under the watch of this now former, I guess, or outgoing superintendent of education. And the student, trans, was attacked in their school and then died from their injuries, but this is somehow called a suicide. Which is this whole different part of the investigation. But do you want to pick up the story there?
Yeah, I mean, this was in February 2024, last year, February. And the superintendent, Ryan Walters, he's like, basically it wasn't, he was protecting the kids who attacked Nex in the bathroom at the school. Next was, I don't know, trans, but certainly genderqueer, in the way they presented. And in terms of the cause of death, they're saying it was a combination of like an antihistamine and maybe an antidepressant. I don't have that right in front of me, but they're saying it was a reaction to medications that Nex had taken. And they called it a suicide or accidental overdose. They're saying that the student did not die as a result of the injuries from the beating. Apparently, they banged Nex's head on the sink in the bathroom. These kinds of things, but it was not just that one incident. Even if it turned out that this was an intentional overdose of two medications that had, interactions that caused their death, I still blame the school because Nex had been bullied and bullied and bullied, and the day before literally beat up to the point of having to go to the hospital. You can't tell me that child was protected in any form or fashion. You cannot tell me that any policies, so-called policies that they had in place, were for the good of this child. All they did was protect the school. They protected the kids that attacked Nix. They, the administrators, nobody was held to account for this. They just blamed it on a drug interaction, accidental or intentional. But as far as anybody knows, there was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I blame the policies that this guy put in place. And so, yeah, I blame him for the student's death, however it actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is the guy that, what's her name? Libs of TikTok. I can't pronounce the woman's name. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Chaya Rachik? Not sure of the pronunciation. But a former real estate agent who did not live in Oklahoma, he appointed her to the Oklahoma State Department of Education's Library Media Advisory Committee.
Fun.
Just because she promoted crap that he, the anti-LGBTQ stuff that he ascribed to, she put her on this, and everybody's like, what the hell is this all about,
Yeah.
She doesn't need to be there. I don't know that she's still there. But
she was one of the biggest proponents of banning books, LGBTQ books.
Oh, yeah. So let's put her on the library committee, right?
Yeah. That makes no sense. Yeah.
So the bathroom, or is it the bathroom? But yeah, the bathroom bill in Texas, Texas was going to come into special session to deal with, flooding, and apparently they're like, no, let's take this time to redo our congressional maps, and oh, by the way, let's get a bathroom bill in there for good measure. So the governor Abbott
supposedly they did flooding stuff too, but yeah, supposedly that was the emergency reason, but yeah, we had to have redistricting because Trump said so, and bathroom bills because that's important.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
Oh, I'm talking over you again. I apologize, but the thing that irritates the crap out of me about these is the people behind them that name them. They always talk about the Women's Protection Bill and moving to protect.
Right.
Really? I'm female, cisgender female, assigned female at birth. And you have put me in danger because I don't look all girly. I don't wear makeup. I hadn't even brushed my hair yesterday or today. So, I'm not especially feminine, and I cannot take my entire life. I've been stopped going into public restrooms. That's the women's restroom. Yes, bitch, I know that's the women's restroom. But, and that's happened to me forever. You've put me in danger by protecting women. So, yeah. I don't believe that crap.
There's a
but yeah, it's law now. It's law. It's been signed in, and it's government buildings, privately owned facilities are not really required to follow this. But and not only can somebody who goes into the wrong restroom be stopped themselves, face some sort of criminal liability themselves, but the building, the agency where this happened, or wherever it happens, they can be fined just ridiculous amounts of money because somebody else went in the wrong restroom. So, and that's Texas law. Thank you, Greg Abbott.
Yikes.
So,
well, this is why we need.
And that was far more important than passing flooding control.
Right.
Well, yeah. Right? Yeah, the priorities of MAGA right now. Well, this is why we need Tammye Nash, managing editor of Dallas Voice, which is now in its 42nd year as the voice of the LGBTQ community in North Texas and beyond. You can visit their website at dallasvoice.com and their social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky for their award-winning journalism. Tammye, so good to see you again, and we'll see you again in a couple weeks.
See you then. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, up next on WCPTA 20 is Chew's Views with Richard Chew on AM 950 Radio. It's the Matt McNeil Show. Stay tuned after that for Native Roots Radio. And then at 10 p.m. Central, Step Into the Unknown with Greg Bakken on Ghostbox Radio. You can also tune in tonight at 5 p.m. for special coverage from AM 950 on the Minneapolis Mayor Forum, a pre-show with me and Robert Pilot. And then we're airing the forum live from 6 to 7:30 without commercial interruption. So we'll see you tonight, and until tomorrow, keep it queer, America.
Keep it queer.